We'll now have our press conference for our women's pole vault podium. We have Jen Sir, Becky Holliday, and Lacey Jansen. So first, women, we're just going to go through. Tell us your thoughts on the jumps, what it means to make this Olympic team, and how it was out there.
Okay. You know, this is always something that you train for and you plan for, and to make the team is always a dream, and to have it happen, it really hasn't set in yet. We've prepared for months and months for this day, and, you know, to have it happen like this and to be on the team, it really takes a while to set in. But, you know, I'm just thankful, and I feel so blessed to have another chance to represent USA.
This is, yeah, it hasn't set in yet. I feel like I'm dreaming. But it definitely is a special day to do it on Hayward Field. I was a Duck. Been dreaming about this for 10 years since I was a Duck, and also dreaming of being an Olympian since I was 5. So I'm on cloud 9.
Same here. I mean, I've been, when I was in gymnastics, I was thinking about the Olympics and what it would be like to be a gymnast in the Olympics. And then I did volleyball, and I was dreaming about being on the volleyball team. And then here I am. I've made the team. I've made the team that I've dreamt about my entire athletic career. And like they said, it really hasn't set in. Like just the magnitude of this accomplishment and this day. And I mean, I was out there and I felt like I was on autopilot, and now it's just like, I mean, it really is a special feeling, and I'm glad it's over. I'm glad I'm in.
Thanks so much. We'll open it up for questions.
Becky, you've had a fairly long pro career. You've achieved a lot in the career, but now you've made an Olympic team. Can you talk about maybe your perseverance through that time and what it means now to be on the team?
Yeah, I have. What's that? Yeah. Yeah, I'm probably the veteran out there. I think I'm the oldest out there, and I want to just tell USA Track and Field, just please don't forget about some of the older athletes, because, you know, we're still here. I'm still here, and I actually feel like I'm finally in my prime. So the support I've had from my family, other families, friends, they've gotten me here too. So it's been a long career. I've been pole vaulting for 15 years, and so it takes a long time in these technical events to get it right. So please, that's all I can say is just like keep the older athletes in mind.
Becky, could you talk about the issue of sponsorship? You competed unattached
Yeah.
today, and we just addressed that.
Yeah, I mean, I've been competing unattached since 2006, so it's been hard. I've had every single job you can think of. Being a server, working at the airport as a bagger. I did the Home Depot thing for 3 years, and that helped out a ton. But you can't work at this level. I was injured a lot of years, and so people just sort of thought I fell out of the, you know, the sky, like, since I left Oregon. And I just thank the friends and family that loaned me money. I'll pay them back.
Jen, there's nothing unusual about the passing, but when you missed your first attempt at that, were there any nerves at that point?
You know, when I missed the first attempt, I just missed it because I was in my mark a little bit, so I knew if I backed up, it would be a make, but I definitely didn't want an 08 repeat on the third attempt, so I was really focusing on that second attempt to get a clearance.
Jen, to follow up, is there always do you know the standard height that you're going to pass until, or is that a feel of how it's going today kind of a thing?
Yeah, it's a feel. You know, I wanted to come in the meet when I thought that if I did miss, I could get a good rhythm back on the runway, so I waited a little longer till the field thinned out, and then, you know, so I would be on the runway a little sooner and I could get a better rhythm.
Becky, I know you're familiar with being here, but could you talk just a little bit more about the feeling it was to have that crowd behind you? And also, I'm just a little unclear if you had already had that Olympic A standard going into today.
I did. I had the Olympic A standard, so that was a little bit of relief coming in. But there was no other feeling than competing at Hayward, and so I have felt like the last, I don't know, since 2003 when I left, it's like almost I've let my fans down, you know, because I haven't made a team since 2003. And so I'm just thankful that I stayed healthy enough to continue in this event, and I think everybody that has stood by me, there's the loyal fans that are here. People remember me by name, and I can hear them cheering, and I owe it like a lot of this to them for sticking with me. So.
Yeah, Becky, can you just talk about what it's been like since you graduated and competing unattached? And you've talked about it a little bit already, but just the struggles of maybe even thinking that it wasn't going to work out for you.
Yeah, I still trained at Oregon until 2006, and but I just had a lot of injuries, and I just almost retired that year. But moved down and started working with a coach named Dan Paff, and he resurrected my career. So, and then he moved to London. They hired him, and so since about that time, I moved down to the training center down in Chula Vista, and that also helped my career because I was able to live there for free and eat for free and get free therapy. And I advise so many athletes to take advantage of that place. It's not a lot do, and it's living situation is kind of hard because you're in a dorm, but it's worth it. I mean, it depends on what you want, and I wanted to be Olympian, so I was willing to make those sacrifices. And then this last year, I made the move to work with Earl Bell, and I think everybody knows him, and so obviously it's the right move.
Becky, Mark Winitz with California Track and Running News over here.
Oh.
So Becky, can you tell me if you're still at the Chula Vista Training Center?
I was at both places this year, Jonesboro, Arkansas, and Chula Vista. Because in Chula Vista, they have free therapy. And I don't know if you know anything about like us athletes, but therapy is huge, especially you know. And so when I was training hard, I was there in Chula Vista. And when I was ready to vault, I would go to Jonesboro. And so, yeah, Chula Vista Training Center there is awesome.
Yeah, can you speak a little bit more about that, about how you're developed, what was the key to your development at Chula Vista?
Chula Vista is a strange place to train because every morning when you go down to breakfast, you see those Olympic rings. And so it's a matter of how you deal with that. And I just, but it also helps you. You remember every day what you're doing, you know, helps you make the right choices in life, the sacrifices you need to make to get to this point. And the staff there is so amazing. They're there to help you become an Olympian. And I couldn't, you know, like, there's a trainer there named Brett Gamard, and I don't know how he works there. They don't pay him enough. He could go make so much money. But luckily, there's people there that want to help athletes like us, and they take cut pay compared to other places because there's not much money in this sport. So just thankful that there's people like that there that push you every day to help me push myself.
Hi, Jen. There's obviously a lot of downtime in this sport normally, but then when you have a field with 27 people and when you're passing on the first 3 jumps, I mean, there's a lot of time. And I noticed you spent a lot of time kind of by yourself, off to the side. I mean, what is going through your mind? I mean, kind of, you probably had 45 minutes before you even jumped, maybe longer. Mm-hmm. What goes through your head, while you're waiting to jump? What's your process like?
It's hard with the downtime because your mind will wander, and it'll think of good scenarios, it'll think of the bad scenarios, how to deal with the bad, what you'll do with the good. So, I really try to stay away from thinking of pole vault. And normally, when we're going off, there's a lot of events going on in the track, so I usually watch that, but we were by ourselves out there for a while. So, I honestly thought about what rooms I want to paint when I get home and what color, and, it's just anything to keep my mind off pole vault.
Lacey, can you talk a little bit about the nerves and the mind games going back and forth between you and Mary when you were both?
Oh my gosh. Well, I felt I was on point. The through 50, and then the wind was starting. I mean, the wind kept blowing, headwind, and I wasn't sure if I needed to move up poles or stay or what. So that was kind of nerve-wracking. And then, I mean, the headwind persisted, so I stayed on the pole I had been jumping on, and it was still too small. So on the third attempt, I moved up poles, and then, I mean, it didn't work. So I was at the mercy of whatever was going to happen, I guess. And so, I mean, I just walked away and I said, you know, whatever happens, I accept it. I've tried my best, and I was waiting for the sound of the crowd to tell me what happened. And I hate it for Mary. Fourth is the worst, but the sound of the crowd told me I was in third place and going to the Olympics, and that was pretty awesome.
Last call for questions. All right, well, thank you very much, ladies, and congratulations.